grace period. The period of time which one has to take appropriate action before suffering unfortunate consequences.
Good morning. Welcome to Cosmos. May I help you?
Yes, my name is Christus Love, and I have a 10 o'clock appointment with Mr. J.W. Carrington.
Yes, Miss Love. Mr. Carrington is not in town at this time, but Mrs. Edwards is covering for him. Would you like to have a cup of coffee while you wait?
No, thank you.
Then please have a seat in the waiting area, and I'll get you as soon as she's ready for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I beg your pardon, were you speaking to me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm about to have the biggest interview of my life today, and I was just reminding myself not to be so nervous that I end up blowing it.
Well, it sounds like good advice. Is it working for you?
I guess I'll find out in a minute. I'm sorry. My name is Christus Love, and
It's very nice to meet you, Christus Love.
Sherry, would you send in the next interviewer, please? Thank you. Boy, I don't believe I just let Buzz Patterson walk out the door and not even offer him the position.
by the way, you didn't say who you were waiting for.
Buzz Patterson.
Buzz Patterson? The Buzz Patterson? I wrote my thesis on the man when I was in grad school. There's no way that I should be competing for the same position as Buzz Patterson. I mean, the man won a Pulitzer Prize. This has got to be a mistake.
Sherry, I thought I told you not to put any calls through. Where's Miss Love? Oh, it's Mr. Carrington. Patch him through. Mr. Carrington, how are things in Singapore? Great. When will you be back? 2 months? Why so long? Oh, I see. Yes, I interviewed Buzz Patterson. No, I did not offer him the position. Why? Because I didn't, that's why. No, I'm not using my match system. Mr. Carrington, I know you're holding me accountable for this decision. What decision haven't you held me accountable for? Okay. I will call you as soon as I make a selection. I told you I'm not using my match system. Goodbye, Mr. Carrington.
Excuse me, Miss Love. Miss Edwards is ready to see you. I'll have someone walk you back.
Okay, I'll be right with you.
Come in.
Mrs. Edwards, Mrs. Love is here to see.
Hello, I'm Mahogany Edwards.
Good to meet you, Miss.
Why don't you have a seat?
Thank you.
I know you expected Mr. Carrington to conduct this interview. However, he got stuck in Singapore opening up our new offices. And I got stuck doing the interview process. Now, Miss Love, what I want to do is a little different. I don't want to do things the traditional way. Take a few minutes. Impress me. Tell me why I shouldn't let you walk out this door without becoming Cosmos' newest employee.
You're right. It is pretty untraditional, but I'll try. First of all, I really think it's necessary for me to say that I think that maybe someone in your personnel department may have made a mistake. I mean, how I could be asked to interview for the same position as Buzz Patterson is just beyond me. I mean, here I am only 5 years out of graduate school competing for the same job as a man who's won a Pulitzer Prize for his contributions in literature. I really can't say that I understand. But since I'm here, and I really do appreciate this opportunity, I'm going to give it my best try. As you already know, my name is Christus Love, and I'm currently employed with the American Journal magazine. You know, I know this probably sounds like a cliche with you being in your position for as long as you've been, but I really believe that I was born to write. You know, I can think back as far as elementary school. You know how you go on summer vacations, and when you come back, the first thing the teacher wants you to do is write about your summer vacation. Well, I never particularly thought my vacations were all that interesting, but for some reason my classmates were always eager to hear me read my essay, and I couldn't figure out why. And then my teacher, Miss Collins, she'd say, "Christus, it's not what you write, it's how you write about it." I can't say that I understood that at that time, but I don't think the journalism bug really hit me until I was in high school. You see, I had written a series of articles on the decline of the American family, and they were published in a national magazine. I was so excited, but I wasn't so much excited about it being in a national magazine as I was about the potential that those articles had to impact on somebody's life. I mean, that just made me so happy. And then later on, when I was a senior, I received the National Journalism Award for high school students. I've received a full academic scholarship to Fayetteville University in North Carolina, and then received a grant to do my graduate work at Spelman. Like I said, I was born to write, and I've been writing all of my life. You advertise this position as one of a roving reporter, and I really have to be honest with you, it's a term that I dislike. You see, it's been my experience, and even though that may be limited compared to others, that reporters only report. Reporters are only interested if the story sells. I, on the other hand, am interested in those things that will benefit mankind. You asked me to impress you, and I don't know that I am or if I can, but it's my belief that if the stories that I write can't in some way at least help my reader become a better person, and even if that's just to the point of having them feel more compassion for their fellow human being, then it simply is not worth the paper that I've written on. You know, you have a decision to make, Miss Edwards, and with every decision, I understand there's some risk involved. Well, I simply think that it would be to Cosmos' advantage to take that risk and to hire me.
Is that all you wish to say?
Yes. Well, except for one thing. I started this interview by saying that I thought someone in your personnel department may have made a mistake. In retrospect, the person actually deserves a raise. You see, I think that I'm exactly what Cosmos should be looking for. I believe that I would be a tremendous asset to your organization, and I do believe that you should hire me.
Very impressive. Let me tell you, everybody that comes through that door is impressive. I'm going to read to you the criteria that I'm looking for to make this match. We're looking for a person who's capable, a person who's honest, a person who is confident, a person who is not traditional, a person who cares about their readers, a person who does not compromise their values, and last but not least, a person who treasures the truth and will not rest until they write it. Ms. Love, you may not have the experience. I've reviewed your credentials. But I believe you have the character that we're looking for. I don't know why I'm doing this. I really don't know why I'm doing this. I'm gonna write down a figure. It's in here. And I want you to tell me whether we have a match.
We have a deal.
Now, before we make the selection, let me tell you something. I've been at Cosmos a long time, and I've worked very hard for this company. Not only will your neck be on the line, but mine will too. Miss Love, don't let me down.
Don't worry, Miss Edwards. I won't let you or Cosmos down.
Welcome to Cosmos, Miss Love. I'll have Sherry set up an expense account for you.
Thank you, Miss Edwards. And I won't let you down.
Hi, you have reached the home of Christus Love. Your call is very important to me, but I'm unavailable to receive it. Please leave a message at the sound of the tone, and I will return your call as soon as possible.
What do you call as soon as possible? This is the 15th time I've called you in 1 month. Now, I'm sick and tired of calling you and you're not returning any of my calls.
Don't hang up. I'm home.
Where have you been? I have been calling you for a month. Now, I know I raised you better than that.
I'm sorry, Mom. Today's my first day back in town. I've been traveling for the last 4 weeks, and I was just so wrapped up in my work, I just lost track of time. I'm sorry.
Listen, honey, I know you're excited about that new job and everything, but listen.
Mom, you don't understand. I've had this job for 5 weeks now. The deadline for my story is in 3 days, and I don't have anything, Mom. Do you hear me, Mom? I don't have anything.
You don't have anything? I thought you said you've been working for 5 weeks.
Mom, I said I've been working. I didn't say I've been writing.
Listen, I turn on the news every day. With all this stuff going on in the world, you mean to tell me you can't find anything to write about?
What you see on the news is not the kind of stories that Cosmos is interested in. I mean, if you saw it on the news, then too many people already know about it. Cosmos looks for the story behind the story. Besides, everything you see on the news isn't true. My editor is looking for much more than that from me. I cannot get my leads from the news.
Well, excuse me, Miss Cosmos, but just trying to help.
Mom, okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful, and I appreciate your concern. I'm just under a lot of pressure to make good on this job.
Are you still worried about that Miss Edwards?
No, Miss Edwards hasn't put any more pressure on me than I've put on myself. I just don't want to let you down.
Baby, there is absolutely no way you can let me down. Now, all you have to do is do your very best. You've got all the gifts and talents, and as far as that Miss Edwards and that Cosmos magazine,
Mom, I told you I'm not worried about any pressure Mrs. Edwards puts on me. I gotta go. I got a new lead on the storyline, and I've gotta get some sleep. I promise you I'm gonna be in more contact with you, okay?
All right, baby. But you just relax. You do the best you can. Don't you worry about those people at that magazine, because let me tell you something. It's just a matter of time before they find out that you're the baddest, the best writer they have ever had. You hear me?
Thanks, Mom. Let's hope so, and I'm gonna talk to you soon. I love you too. Okay, bye.
Lord, please help my baby. She's so talented and she's so gifted. All she needs is a chance, Lord. Just give her a chance. Please.
Awake, my child.
What are you?
I am the angel of the Lord.
I must be more tired than I thought. What are you?
I said, I am the angel of the Lord. You do believe in God, don't you?
Yes, I guess I believe in God.
Do you believe he has angels?
Well, yes, but I never expected to see one. Why am I seeing one? Why are you here?
I'm here to grant a request on your behalf.
Request? What request?
To provide you with the exclusive interview that you seek so diligently.
You said requested on my behalf. Who would have made such a request?
Does it matter?
To me, it does.
Very well. The request came from your mother.
My mother? Are you saying my mother is behind all of this?
God is behind all of this.
God sent you here to give me an exclusive interview.
I'm going to take you to a place that has countless prisoners of war, prisoners that the world forgets.
What prisoners? Vietnam?
No comparison.
Desert Storm?
No comparison.
What prisoners then?
Prisoners that this world needs to hear about.
I don't know.
But I thought you wanted to write the perfect article.
What are you talking about?
You remember, the perfect article. The one that gives mankind a chance to fix what's broken. A chance to help change bad to good. A chance to help mankind change their lives for the better.
I just dreamt that.
Well, do you wish to write such an article?
I do, but...
But?
Well, you said where we're going was no comparison to Desert Storm or Vietnam, and I don't know if I can do it.
Don't know if you can or if you will.
All right, but at least tell me where we're going first.
You might say it's a living hell.
Will we be safe?
Believe me, you could not be in safer hands.
You know I should be petrified, and yet there's just this overwhelming sense of peace around me, and
The peace you feel is me. There is nothing to be scared of as long as I am with you.
All right, but let me get my tape recorder, and I'll be right with you.
You don't need it. Believe me, you will remember every word and detail.
We? And how did you find this place? I had my eyes open the whole time and I couldn't see anything. I've never seen such darkness in all my life.
You could say we've come to the very bowels of the earth for your interview.
My interview? You said prisoners of war. Where are they? Is that my interview?
No. Your interview will be here in a moment.
Then who is that?
That will be used for your interview.
But I just thought you said my interview would be here in a moment.
I did. I said that body would be used for your interview. I did not say it was your interview.
This man is dead. How am I supposed to use a dead man for an interview? And where are the prisoners? How can they even get in here? There's no entrance in this place. There's something very wrong here. What kind of war is going on here?
It's a war that needs much more attention than it's getting. It's the only war where life and death are truly on the line. It's a spiritual war, and everyone's in it. You're either on one side or the other. The only choice you have is what side you choose. You can't choose not to fight. You can't choose not to participate. There are no conscientious objectors. There are no in-betweens. You are on one side or the other.
Spiritual war?
Before we left, I asked you if you believed in God and in angels. I have two more questions for you. Do you believe in heaven and hell?
Hell? You mean the place where people are supposed to go and burn forever? No, I don't believe in hell. Look, I told you before we left that I believed in God, and I do. But the God that I believe in would never send anyone to such a place, even if it did exist.
It is not God's will for anyone to be a prisoner of hell's fire. It is a choice they make.
Let's just say there is a hell for a moment. Are you telling me that people choose to go there?
That's exactly what I'm telling you. They choose for different reasons, but they choose. Some choose because they outright reject God. Some choose because they're tricked. Some because of their disbelief. And others choose because of ignorance. But it is they who choose.
You used the term a minute ago, prisoners of hell's fire. Are you telling me that the interview you promised me is an interview from hell?
That's exactly what I'm telling you. Your interview is here.
God's name is going on here?
It's the interview I promised you.
First you tell me that hell really exists, and now you want me to believe that he's from hell? I mean, I know he's from someplace strange, but hell? Come on.
I can only present you with the truth. It's totally up to you with what you choose to believe. Believe me when I say this to you, Christus Love. You have been given a wonderful opportunity, an opportunity to help save millions of lives. I tell you this truth. You will remember this day for the rest of your life, for one of these two reasons. You'll either remember it as the day you took advantage of this special opportunity to help save millions from damnation, or you will remember it as the day you did nothing because of your disbelief, and millions possibly perished because of their lack of knowledge. The choice is yours.
Okay. Since I'm here, I'm gonna finish what I started. Where do I begin?
You are the reporter. There's your interview. Find the truth. However, you only have until the last of the hourglass passes through, and then he must return to where he came.
Hi. My name is Christus. What's your name? What's your name?
John.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
John.
Can you please speak just a little bit louder?
John. My name is John.
Okay. John, it seems like we're in the same boat here. You seem to be a little bit nervous, and I'm nervous, and you seem like maybe you're a little bit confused, and I'm confused. I'm confused. But maybe if we work at this together, we can both get through it.
I'm not confused.
Okay. Since you're not confused, can you tell me why you're here?
I'm here to be interviewed.
Okay. You're here, but you're here from where?
Is it that you don't know? Or you just really want to hear it from me?
I think it would really be a lot easier for me to believe if I could hear it from you. You're here from where?
Hell.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Hell. I said hell. I was brought here from hell.
Are you saying that hell is real?
Oh, lady. It's real.
Okay. Let's just say, for conversation's sake, that I believe you were brought here from hell. Tell me, what's it like?
I can't answer that question.
You tell me, and you want me to believe that you were brought here from hell, and now you're saying you can't tell me what it's like?
That's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
Unless you've been there, There's nothing you can compare it to. There's nothing that I can say to you that you would probably believe or much less understand.
Well then, let's talk about something else for a minute.
Forget it. Talk about something else. I can't forget Hal.
If hell really exists, then that would mean that you would have had to have died before you went there. When did you die?
You wouldn't understand that either.
Try me.
I died. But I didn't really die.
Excuse me?
I died, but I never really died.
You're gonna have to explain that. I don't understand.
You see, when I was on Earth, I had everything. Family, a great job, a big, beautiful home, a wonderful neighborhood. I had it all. But then one day, they found a lump in my chest. And by the time they found it, the cancer had spread throughout my whole body to the point that they couldn't treat it. So they told me I only had 6 months to live. For the first time in my life, I was really, really scared. Because everything that I've worked so hard for, I was about to lose. They tell you in counseling that you should just go on with life as much as possible, but that doesn't work. Because every day that I woke up and I saw my family, I knew that I was getting closer to the time that I would not be with them. After a while, when I would leave my house to go to work, I would really wonder if I would ever see home again. It wasn't long after that until my condition got so bad that I couldn't work any longer. And I became bedridden. And I said that if I was going to die, I'd rather die at home and not in some hospital where they don't care about you. There was days I laid on my back just thinking about how wonderful life really is and what a terrible thing death is. Over and over again, I asked myself, why would God allow something like this to happen to me? What could I have done to deserve such a terrible fate? I mean, I was married for 32 years, and I never cheated on my wife. I raised 4 beautiful children, gave them everything they wanted. Taught them to love and respect their fellow man. And each Sunday we were in church together as a family. I couldn't think of any other way that I would have done it. Then one day, the pain got so great. I remember my wife running out of the hospital room calling for a doctor. And I said, let me just rest my eyes just for 1 minute. When I closed my eyes and I opened them again, I felt great. There was no pain. I felt like a kid again. Till I looked down on that bed, saw my body lying there. I looked on both sides of me, and I saw 2 big angels, and they grabbed me. And I closed my eyes just for a second. But oh, when I opened up my eyes, the pain that I felt, the agony that I was in, it was so great, you can't even describe it. It was greater than that of the cancer. And all I could see was people in pain and in agony, suffering. And we were all surrounded by fire.
Are you saying that our bodies are not really who we are? That it's just, a place where we live?
I'm telling you that I stepped out of my body. Just like for years, I stepped out the front door of my house. I never really died. My body just gave up the life that was in it.
That's got to be the most incredible thing I've ever heard. John, tell me more about your life. What kind of work did you do?
I was a scientist. I worked on cures for diseases.
What kind of cures?
Well, except for the last 5 years of my life, I worked on cures for cancer and sickle cell anemia.
In the last 5 years?
I was appointed a special presidential position to help research a cure for the AIDS virus.
Let me get this straight. You said that you were married for, 32 years and never even thought about cheating on your wife?
Cheated on my wife.
4 children you raised? And then, what, you went to church every Sunday?
That's right.
And then you spend your whole professional career working on cures that have crippled and killed mankind, and then you died, and you went to hell.
That's what I keep saying. Somebody made a mistake. I don't belong there with those people.
How long, John? How long have you been there?
I don't know.
Are you saying that there's no concept of time?
Lady, all I know is that the pain and the agony is so great that each moment there is like a lifetime.
Okay, John. Let's try and put this together. When did you die? No. When did your body give up the life that was in it?
A few months after President Clinton was elected.
President Clinton is in his first term.
How long has he been in office?
He's only been in office for 2 years.
Oh my God! My God! I've only been there a year. It seems like hundreds.
Are you saying that there's no way to measure time?
Lady, I told you, the pain is so great there that each moment seems like a lifetime.
Let's talk about hell. Just a little bit more. How many people are there?
Countless. Countless. It doesn't matter how far you wander or how far you can see. All you will see is people everywhere, all suffering just like you, all in pain, all in agony, all the same. People from all walks of life. Doctors, lawyers, football stars, boxers, policemen, criminals, school teachers, pastors, reverends, priests, all the same. All in pain.
John, not children, not babies. Not in that godforsaken place.
If there are, I haven't seen any.
You keep talking about the pain, the agony. Can you describe it?
Lady, there is nothing that you can compare it to. There's no rest. There's no peace. It never stops.
Never? I mean, you never sleep? Never?
Never. It never stops. There's no peace there. There's no homes, no houses there. You get no rest. You just suffer and wander. Wander and suffer.
Conversations. Do you talk? Do you talk to one another?
Sometimes. Most people just say the same thing that I say, that they don't belong there. Some murmur around, saying they hope that their loved ones never come to a place like this. Some even pray and ask God to deliver them. But mostly all you hear is anguish and moans and groans from people suffering.
So, you do recognize people?
Yes. You would be surprised who is there. I've seen people there that I read about in my history books. I've seen entertainers that I thought I would never get to meet. I've even stood next to boxing champions of the world who cry out just as loud as the smallest woman from the torment and the pain and the agony. And what's worse, I've even found my parents there.
I'm so sorry. Is there anything else that you'd like to say?
It's so big. It's so big. And people are just pouring in there. By the thousands. Thousands. After thousands. And I keep wondering. And I keep thinking, when is it ever going to stop? When are people going to stop pouring in there? When are people, when is it all just going to end? And when will somebody realize that I don't belong there?
What else? What's important for you to say, John?
You should tell as many people as you can to do whatever they have to do to keep away from this place. That they should find out what we all missed. grab a hold to it and never let it go. Because the last place you want to end up in is hell.
You know, I thought by doing this interview, I would find some kind of relief or something. But I found out it's no relief at all. Just the thought of me going back to that place it's just as much torment as being there. No! She has more questions! No!
Christus Love, do you believe in hell now?
What a God-forsaken place.
Exactly.
Why him? Why a man who spent his whole life trying to better mankind? You heard him. He was a devoted father. He loved his wife. And he ended up in such a place. This cannot be God's idea of justice.
It is not God's will for anyone to suffer such a fate. As I told you before, it's a choice they make.
No one in their right mind would make such a choice.
Did you not listen to John? Did you not hear him tell you about the countless number of people in hell?
You keep talking about choices. What choices?
Heaven or hell? The subject that is so often spoke about by so many, but received in the hearts of so few, like John.
I need to talk to someone from the other side. I just interviewed a man from hell who has no idea why he's there. I have got to talk to someone from heaven who knows why they are there.
Did I not give you the interview that I promised?
No, you promised me the perfect story. You know, the one that would help mankind. Right now, unless I talk to someone from the other side, I don't know the complete truth.
Very well, Christus Love. I will grant your request, and then indeed you will know the truth.
Christus Love.
Christus Love. What a beautiful name.
I've asked to speak with you
It's all been explained to me. I already know why I'm here.
I'm sorry I didn't get your name.
My name? My name is Benjamin Lloyd.
Well, Benjamin Lloyd, since you said that you know why I've asked to speak with you, humor me. Tell me why.
You wanted someone to tell you about the other side.
What other side?
Christus. 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 Why, heaven, of course.
So you came from heaven?
In all its splendor and glory, just to give you this interview.
Tell me what heaven's like.
It would be hard for me to explain to you. I mean, I don't think you would understand.
You're the second person to tell me that today.
Christus, you would have to be there. It's the most magnificent place imaginable. Actually, it's beyond your imagination.
Then help me understand what it's like.
I'll try. The first thing you notice is the love. Unimaginable love. Nothing on earth can begin to compare with it. But then there's the joy. Inexpressible joy. There's nothing on earth that can even come close to comparing with it. And then there's the peace. Peace that transcends all understanding. Nothing.
I know nothing on earth compares with it.
Now you're getting it.
You sound excited about being there.
Excited? Christus, I'm ecstatic.
How long have you been there? Heaven, I mean.
I don't know. Can't be more than a few days.
So Clinton was president when you died too?
Who's Clinton? Kennedy was president when I died.
Kennedy? That was more than 30 years ago.
30 years? You gotta be kidding me. 30 years. Imagine that.
Tell me about your life when you were on Earth.
Well, I don't like to talk about that much. But for the purpose of this interview, what would you like to know?
Were you married?
Yes, I was married, but my wife divorced me.
Why?
Well, I used to drink a lot. I used to drink a whole lot. And every time I tied one on, I'd come home and beat my wife. Now, I don't know if she got tired of the drinking or the beatings or the other women, but I do know she got tired because I came home one day and she and the kids were packed and gone.
So you had children?
Yes, we had two, a boy and a girl.
What kind of work did you do?
Well, I was a school teacher until I got fired.
Fired? Fired for what?
Well, like I said, I used to drink, and I got involved with one of the students at the high school I taught at. And her parents found out and informed the school board, and after a hearing, I was quietly dismissed.
You were sexually involved with one of your students?
That's correct.
Let me get this straight. You cheated and beat up your wife. You cheated on and beat up your wife. You were sexually involved with one of your students, and God only knows what kind of father you were, and you went to heaven?
That's correct.
How? Tell me how.
I'm so glad you asked that question. After my wife left me, I began to drink up what little savings I had left. It wasn't long before I lost everything. I was living on the streets. And one day, I'm standing in front of this store begging for quarters, and who do I see standing there but my wife and two kids? They didn't recognize me, but the embarrassment I felt was unbelievable. It was then that I decided I was going for help. Not knowing where to go, I stumbled into this church right in the middle of service. I hadn't been in a church in over 20 years, and here I am standing in the middle of one, screaming for help.
Then what happened?
They took me into this back room and started asking me all these questions.
What kind of questions?
You know, questions like, how long had I been homeless? When was the last time I had eaten? Oh. But then they asked me this question that forever changed my life.
And that was what?
They asked me if I knew Jesus.
What about Jesus?
I told them. When they asked me if I knew Jesus, I told them of course I knew about Jesus. I hadn't been a drunk all my life. I wasn't a totally bad person. I wasn't born just yesterday. Of course I knew about Jesus. But then one of them told me, we didn't ask you if you knew about Jesus. We asked you if you knew Jesus. I didn't know what in the world they were talking about until they began to explain.
Explain what?
Explain about Jesus.
What about Jesus?
How Jesus is the key to life.
I'm lost. I don't understand.
Exactly.
Exactly what?
You're lost if you don't understand.
Then help me understand.
They walked me through the Bible, God's word, which declares Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. How without him in my life, I really didn't have life at all. How Jesus was the key that would unlock not only my present, but my eternity as well.
How could one man have such power?
One man? No. One God? Yes.
I'm lost again.
Christus, there's no reason to be lost. One just has to seek with all their heart, and they will find.
Find what?
The answer to every question. The solution to every problem.
Is what, Ben? Is what?
Jesus.
I'm trying, Ben. Help me to understand.
Christus, you seek answers to mankind's problems, but I ask you, who is better to answer those questions, the created or the creator? You write for a magazine that covers everything under creation, yet knows not of the one that created everything.
God? Are you saying that everything is God, that everything evolves around God?
Yes, Lord Jesus. Sweet Jesus.
First you say God, then you say Jesus.
One and the same.
Everyone does not believe that Jesus is God.
Everyone in heaven believes it.
Well, what about all of those religions that teach something else and the good people that believe it?
Christus, it's not about religion. It's about a relationship. Unless you're in him, you're lost. Unless those people you refer to repent and accept Christ into their hearts as Lord of their lives, they're destined to spend eternity in hell's fire.
But all religions believe that they are right. And what about the atheists?
Hell is full of religious people. People who depended upon folks to tell them the truth without searching for themselves. If you compare all of those so-called religions together, you will find the topic that upsets them the most is Jesus. And you ask about the atheist. I ask you, how can anyone live on an earth created so magnificently and believe it all came together by chance without a creator? However, hell is full of such fools. Jesus is the only way to life.
Okay. I understand. But that's after death. What about now? How could Jesus allow his creation to get so messed up? I mean, has he taken a good look at the earth lately?
God has given his children all power. If you are in him, he is in you. You have authority to overcome all obstacles Satan places in your way.
I've had a hard enough time trying to understand God today. I'm going to have to deal with Satan later.
If you fully understand God, you won't have to worry about Satan later. He'll have to worry about you.
I don't think I can really. My mind just can't take any more right now. Is there anything else that I need to know?
Yes. You asked about now. Ever since I gave my life to Jesus and lived in God's Word, my whole life began to change. My wife came back, my children loved me again, and I started a tutorial service that earned me more money than any job I ever had paid me. The key was Jesus. Putting my total trust in Jesus. Not listening to any circumstances, but depending on God's Word, that with Him, all things are possible. Before I go, I want to leave you with this lesson. Remember, I was a school teacher at one time. In your search to become a better writer, become a better reader.
What kind of riddle is that? I don't understand.
Your Bible. Pick up your Bible. All answers are in there. Remember, Christus, in your search to become a better writer, become a better reader. Pick up your Bible. All answers are in there. May your spirit find God's peace.
I know what just happened is true, but even I have a hard time believing it.
Christus, people have always had problems accepting the truth, even when He stands right in front of their face.
Oh, I accept it, and I'll write about it. I just hope they print it.
They'll print it.
I hope people believe it.
It's not your job to make people believe. It's your job to write the truth. Everyone in hell, including John, had the truth presented to them and rejected it. They now will be tormented for the rest of their lives because of their decision. It was a choice they made. It is a choice they must live with. No exceptions.
I don't want to suffer that same fate. I don't want to end up like John. You said that the truth would set me free.
Not exactly. I said after your interview, you would indeed know the truth, and then we would see if the truth would indeed set you free. Well, Christus love, you have your story. It's up to you now. I've done my part.
Angel, don't go. There's so much more I need to know.
Don't worry, Christus. I'll be back.
What's your name? You never even told me your name.
My name? Let's just say I am the truth.
Wait. Why me? Why did you choose me?
I've told you that already. Besides, I really like your name. I leave you with a token of our time together. Take care, Christus love. I really like your name.
Christus Love.
Oh, but then they asked me this question that forever changed my life.
And that was what?
They asked me if I knew Jesus.
Christus Love.
Christus, people have always had problems accepting the truth, even when he stands right in front of their face.
Christ is love.
My name? Let's just say I am the truth.
Christ is love. I've got it. I've got it. Christ is love. My name, of course. Christ is love. Dear God, I just thank you. I thank you that you loved me so much that you would present me with the truth. Dear God, I don't want to end up like John, and it seems that John had one thing missing, and that was Jesus. I don't want to be missing Jesus in my life. Lord, I just ask right now that Jesus come into my heart and into my life the way he did Benjamin. I want to know that love and that joy and that peace that Benjamin spoke about. And God, please, if there's anything in my life that I've done that was not pleasing, please forgive me. I thank you. I thank you for this opportunity to share the truth the way you presented it to me, to others, so that they too may come to a place that they would know Jesus and they would have eternal life. Thank you.
Hello? Mr. Carrington, how are you doing? What do you mean we can't print the hell story? Oh, that's nonsense, Mr. Carrington. But can you prove it didn't happen? Then we should print it. I know, Mr. Carrington. But what decision haven't you held me accountable for? Listen. You won't be sorry. I know, Mr. Carrington. You're going to hold me accountable. All right, Mr. Carrington. Okay. Goodbye. Print the hell story.
Now, Fowler's story this morning centers around an article written hot off the press, no pun intended, in this month's edition of Cosmos magazine. You know Cosmos, the magazine that advertised itself as the truth and nothing but the truth. In an article entitled An Interview from Hell, Cosmos reports that it literally sent one of their reporters, Miss Christy Love, all the way to hell for its readers. Miss Love reports that Jesus himself was her personal escort and granted her an interview with a spirit from hell, as a reminder to mankind of the price that is paid for evil
Baby's
ways.
famous.
Channel 14's attempt to substantiate this story fell unsuccessful, for we were unable to secure any mode of transportation willing or able to take us to that destination. I wonder why. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to wait until Jesus decides to come back again to find out if any of this is true. I'm David Thompson, and this is News 14 at 6 a.m.
This is for you.
The story of today centers around Cosmos magazine writer Christus Love.
She's on every station.
I hope this doesn't create a trend. News reporters go up hell.
I wonder where Miss Love will go next.
My baby's famous.
Hard to tie.
Call her.
Hello?
Was that you, baby? You're famous.
Yeah, Mom, I know. I've been watching.
Well, why do you sound like that? Why are you so down?
They don't believe me, Mom.
Well, honey, they have no way of knowing that you wouldn't write a story if it wasn't true. This is the first time they've ever heard of Christy Love.
I know, Mom, it's just... It's so important for them to know that it's true. It's not for me. It's for them.
Let me tell you something, honey. People have been rejecting the truth since the beginning of time. Look at me. I've been in that same church for I don't know how many years, and I didn't know the truth until you told me your experience. But I tell you one thing, it changed my life, and everybody I tell in that church is going to change their life too.
I know, Mom. If they only knew.
They do know. You see, the responsibility is theirs now. You told them the truth, and they can laugh all they want. But the same thing they're laughing about today, honey, is going to come back and burn them tomorrow. Don't you worry about it. You did your part.
Thanks, Mom. I guess I better start getting ready. I've got an appointment this morning with Miss Edwards.
Right. I bet she's going to give you a raise.
I doubt it. I'm giving them my 2 weeks' notice today.
Your what? What do you mean? I thought this is what you always wanted to do.
Cosmos is a good magazine. They were doing good, before they hired me. I'm sure they'll do just fine, after. I know now that working with Cosmos isn't what I was born to do.
Well, are you going to keep me in the dark, honey, or are you going to tell me what's going on?
Mom, I would never do that. Look, why don't we get together tonight for dinner and I'll tell you all about it.
That's a good idea. I'll be waiting to see you tonight. And in the meantime, you tell that Mrs. Edwards that she bet on the right pony this time. I love you, baby. Bye-bye. Lord, you best bless me with a fine daughter this time. And thank you for giving her her story.
Hello? Oh, Mr. C. How are you doing? Oh, I'm better than fine, Mr. C. I'm terrific. And you thought my selection was bad. Hey, I know they're selling. We can't keep them on the shelves. That's a good idea, Mr. C. I'll call Bert. I'll tell him to double the publication. See you soon, Mr. C. Don't thank me in words. Thank me in my next paycheck. See you later. Sherry, when Christus gets here, send her right in. Oh, she's here now. Send her in. Come in. Christus. Christus, have a seat. You did it. You did it.
Thank you, Miss Edwards, but you're making this a little more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
What's the problem?
Well, you remember when I first interviewed, I told you that I was born to write?
Yes.
Well, now I know that I'm supposed to be writing for the Creator. I've got to write for God. I'm going to have to turn in my 2 weeks notice.
You've got to do what?
I was born to write for the Almighty. During this interview, this article, it's changed my life. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Is it more money? Can we offer you some more money?
Miss Edwards, it's not about money. I appreciate Cosmos. I appreciate you and the opportunity. This is what I have to do.
You're serious, aren't you? You're really serious about this. Oh, boy.
I'm sorry. 2 weeks is all I can give you.
2 weeks? Oh! Christus. I just don't know what to say. I mean, the article, it's fantastic. Cosmos readers are so excited. Mr. Carrington, he's so excited.
I'm sorry.
And you really feel serious about this?
It's not even a feeling. I know this is what I was born to do. I'm sorry,
You've made up your mind?
Yes.
There's nothing I can do to change your mind.
I'm sorry.
Tell me what I can do to change your mind.
Miss Edwards, please listen to what I'm saying. I appreciate Cosmos, I appreciate you, but I must. This is my purpose. I know that now. And I just thank you for the opportunity.
And you say 2 weeks, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you get me another article in 2 weeks?
I have connections now.
Well, I guess there's nothing more than I can say. You've been fantastic. We made an excellent choice. I don't think you're making the right decision, but you've made up your mind. All I can say to you at this point is thank you, and we look forward to the next article.
Sherry, thank you so much for all of your help. I really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. But do you know while you were gone, the Tonight Show called, John Letterman called, Arsenio Hall show called. Would you like me to schedule the appointment for you?
They probably just want to make fun of me, Sherry, but go ahead. And it really has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank
Good luck.
you.
God, could you come into my life and change my life and make me know you?
Excuse me. Are you Christus Love?
Yes, I am.
The Christus Love?
I'm Christus Love.
I've been dying to meet you. I've been busting my butt at Cosmos for 5 long, hard years. And you write some stupid story about some dumb angel and expect everybody to believe you. Everybody all over the world is reading about it. They're stupid.
Every word was true.
If you're taking this elevator, then I'll take the stairs.
An Interview from Hell by Christus Love.
Imagine this scene. While crossing the street, you're hit by a car. As you lay there fighting for your last breath, you begin to wonder if there's any truth to there being life after death. You spend your last moments wondering, is there really a God, a heaven, a hell? The pain in your body tells you that you are very close to finding out. You close your eyes for what you think is just a second as the pain becomes unbearable. You open them, only to realize the pain is gone. But in the process, you realize something else, something strange, something very strange. You realize that you are looking down at a body, the body that used to be yours. You hear the medics pronounce you dead and pull a sheet over what used to be your body. Before you have time to digest what you just saw, two angels grab you and whisk you away. The urgency of the situation brings questions back to your mind. Is there really a God, a heaven, a hell?
Much too often, people wait too late to find out these answers. For the person just described, too late. For the subject of my interview, he also waited too late. The subject of my interview now lives in a place beyond your wildest imagination. Only there is nothing imaginary about it. The subject of my interview lives in hell. No, that wasn't a typo. I meant exactly what I wrote, and I wrote exactly what I meant. The subject of my interview lives in hell. Hell is real. It's where John lives. Who's John? He's the subject of my interview. Go ahead, laugh, get it out of your system now. But don't giggle too long, because this is the most serious of topics.
I met John through a divine appointment, frustrated by my own inability to uncover my first story for Cosmos. I was given assistance by a most unexpected source, Jesus Christ himself. With one touch of his hand, we were transported to what he described as the very bowels of the earth. For one phenomenal experience, an opportunity to interview John. No, this is not a script for another Friday the 13th movie. This was and is very much real.
You should know a little about John. John was a wonderful husband, father, and humanitarian. John had, by what most would observe, a successful life. John was the kind of guy that many would have jumped at the opportunity to switch lives with. Yes, when John was on earth, he had it all except the one thing that mattered the most, life insurance. Not the kind of life insurance that first comes to mind, but the real piece of the rock. You see, John made the same mistake millions of people made. He left earth without it. I'm not talking about his American Express card, I'm talking about Jesus. You know Jesus, the subject that makes everyone so uncomfortable. Oh, we can all hold somewhat a conversation about God, but say Jesus and people start having problems. I'm writing to tell you that you have a real problem if you don't say Jesus. Worse yet, you're dead and you don't even know it. Worse still, you're destined to become John's neighbor.
I wish you could have been there to see the expression on John's face as he described his new home. It's a place that I never wish to visit again. No more live there. Get your life insured now before it's too late. Remember, you can only be in good hands if Jesus is your Lord. You really think there's a hell?
Girl, get real. You believe everything you read. You are so naive.
It sounds real to me.
Excuse me, but are you Miss Love?
Yes, I am.
I don't know how to tell you this, but about that article you wrote?
Yes? What about it?
I just want you to know, that article you wrote, well, it changed my life. You see, I've been confused about a lot of things lately, but after reading your article, I decided I better get me that life insurance you were talking about. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm not confused anymore. For the very first time in my life, I know I'm gonna be all right. I just had to stop by and say thank you. You don't know what that article has done for me.
No, thank you. You don't know how much I needed to hear that. Thank you.
Well, I have to run. I'm already late for school, but I had to stop by and say thank you.
Well, I'm sorry you're late for school, but I am so happy you dropped by. Thanks. I really needed that. I'm yours, Lord. Use me.